Everybody, my name is Vincent and I'm outside Lichfield Court today. Since the last video I did, more people have contacted me telling me that their family members had passed away in here and they hadn't been found days after they had died. So this hostel hasn't been doing the every 12-hour checks. One person in particular made a complaint to the hostel and asked for an explanation. And I've just looked at the evidence, and the evidence clearly states that they take liability for not doing the 12-hour checks properly. And this happened last year. And after the lady made the complaint, they also said they've provided training for staff to prevent this from happening again. So a year later, there's still people being found many days after death. One of them I just reported was 7 days after death, which is recent. And the 12-hour checks have not been getting done properly. So the person who made the complaint to this hostel and just showed me the evidence also contacted a local councillor. The local councillor allegedly said it's a conveyor belt of dead people coming out of this hostel, and they tried to get the place shut down. Now what this hostel needs is, it needs genuine people who genuinely care and will genuinely do what's need to be done, because at the end of the day these are still people's family members, who need support. A lot of them are suffering with active addiction and a lot of them ain't. I just spoke to one particular person and he said that he doesn't suffer with addiction issues, but he's around a load of people who are openly taking drugs and selling drugs in here, and it is affecting his mental health. So this is having a knock-on effect for the whole community. If you're mixing people who take substances and people who are trying to stay away from substances or do not take substances, it's going to influence them to take substances. And then when you're housing them to the wider community, then and you haven't helped them with their addiction issues, it's then having a knock-on effect for the wider community where they're getting housed, which is causing crack dens, drug dealing, cuckooing, which is having a knock-on effect for that part of the community, which is really affecting our communities. So something needs to be done about this. Something definitely needs to be done. Our community deserves better support facilities and better treatment for people who are suffering with addiction. Because at the end of the day, these are people's family members, and they do deserve the love and support, same as everyone else does. Now, there's a lot of people that's died in this place that haven't got family members to check in to see what went wrong and see if the checks have been getting done. So there's people that's died in here that haven't had anyone to look into why the lack of care that's going on, that's been reported from multiple sources. So definitely something needs to be done about this. This is definitely a political issue, because it is causing a lot of harm throughout our communities. Same as I have done my other videos on the other hostels. This is having a knock-on effect for all other community services. So please everyone, repost this. The more exposure we can get, the more we can get something done and better facilities in our city. Thank you.